Welcome to the KEP Knowledge English Podcast. I'm your host, James Rivers, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this journey of learning and discovery.
And I'm Sophia Wells. Whether you're looking to improve your English skills or dive into insightful discussions on a range of topics, you're in the right place.
Here on KEP, we explore everything from language learning tips to thought provoking conversations that will challenge your perspective and expand your knowledge.
Each episode will bring you fresh insights, practical advice, and a little bit of fun along the way. So grab your headphones and let's get started.
This is KEP Knowledge English Podcast. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. It's so good to have you here with us tonight. We've got something super important to talk about today: negative emotions. You know, the ones that sneak up on you and ruin your mood in an instant. Whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, or just feeling overwhelmed, we all experience it.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine it's a concert, and the question is who's here because they have to be and not because they want to be? You'd get a wave of hands going up. People feel stuck. They're just in the grind, doing the same thing day after day, and it's like nothing seems to change. Can anyone relate?
And that's exactly what we're talking about today: how to break out of this cycle, find new ways to enjoy our work, and really to live with intention. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to feel happy. It's about creating those moments for ourselves every single day. Right? It's that feeling of, I'm just going through the motions. You wake up, go to work, do your job, come home, but there's no spark, no excitement. You know what I mean? It's like you're on autopilot.
Oh, for sure. And the worst part is that it can sneak up on you. One day, you realize you don't even remember the last time you looked forward to something at work. You know, the last time you thought, yes, I can't wait to tackle this today. It becomes this endless loop. And after a while, you just stop caring.
Exactly. And what's crazy is when you talk to people about it, you find out it's not just you. Everyone's feeling it. I mean, let's face it, people aren't exactly waking up every day thinking, oh, I'm so excited to sit in traffic, check emails, and attend another meeting, right?
Yeah, I think the worst part is when we get into that mindset of thinking, this is just how life is. This is what I'm supposed to do. We sort of just accept it. But why? Why do we let ourselves fall into this routine where we don't find any joy in what we do anymore?
Good question. And I'll tell you, it's so easy to get caught up in that cycle. I've definitely been there. You set a goal, you hit it, and then nothing changes. The excitement doesn't come. You expect to feel this sense of accomplishment, but it's like, okay, what now? And that feeling can make you question everything. Is this all there is?
I totally get that. Like, let's say you land a big promotion at work, or you finish a major project and there's no confetti falling from the sky, no well done from everyone. It's just life moving on. You think, I've worked so hard for this, but now I'm bored. And that, my friend, is when things get tricky. When you've reached your goal, but the happiness that was supposed to come with it just isn't there.
And I think that's where people get stuck. They're constantly chasing the next goal, thinking that's what will make them happy. But they forget that happiness doesn't come from achieving an endpoint. It's in the journey, the process. We lose sight of that.
That's so true. I'm pretty sure most of us at one point thought that once we got X, whether it's a promotion, a certain salary, or whatever, we'd be set. But in reality, when we hit that mark, we often just realize we're still the same. So it begs the question, how do we find joy again in what we do every day?
All right, so now that we've established that feeling of being stuck in a routine, let's talk about the role that goals play in this whole thing. I think a huge part of why people end up feeling unfulfilled is because we focus so much on results, on what we'll get once we reach a goal, without paying enough attention to the process of getting there.
Oh, I totally get what you're saying. It's like we're conditioned to think that the end result is going to give us the joy or satisfaction we're craving. You know, like if I just get that promotion, everything will be great. Or once I hit that 1 million followers on Instagram, I'll feel complete. But then when we finally hit those targets, it's like, well, that's it? Huh?
That's the key, Sophia. When we start valuing the action and the journey, that's when the joy really comes. Not from the end result, but from being engaged in what we're doing. So let's stop waiting for happiness to come at the finish line and start making happiness a part of the process itself. Absolutely. And here's the thing, what happens when you reach that goal and nothing changes? You were excited about getting there, but now that you're there, there's no fireworks. It's like, okay, now what? I've been guilty of this too. I've worked hard to hit a big milestone, and then the next day I'm asking myself, what's next? It's like there's no lasting joy from just achieving something.
I've seen that with so many people. Take, for example, someone who works years to get that big promotion. They finally get it, but suddenly they realize, wait, I'm still stressed out. I'm still working long hours. I'm still dealing with the same problems. What was the point? It's not about the title or the paycheck, it's about how it feels, how it impacts your life. And if it doesn't feel different, you're left with nothing but disappointment.
Yup, and it goes beyond just not feeling happy after you've achieved something. The problem with focusing solely on the result is that we set ourselves up for dissatisfaction. I've been there too, chasing the next thing, whether it's followers, money, or whatever it is. You hit the goal, but there's a strange emptiness. You're left wondering, was that all there is to it?
It's kind of like chasing a mirage, right? You think you're getting closer to it, but when you finally reach it, you realize it wasn't what you thought it would be. And then what happens next? You start chasing the next goal. It's a never-ending cycle, and you're always looking for happiness in the next thing, but it never seems to come.
Definitely. And it's so easy to get caught in that trap. I think a lot of us fall into the mindset of, once I have this, then everything will be great. But it's not just about what you get at the end of the journey, it's about how you're experiencing the journey. When we focus too much on the destination, we miss out on the joy that comes from the process itself.
You're totally right. And when we're constantly focusing on the next big thing, we forget to appreciate what we're doing right now. I mean, yeah, we all want to achieve, but if we're not enjoying the journey, what's the point of getting there in the first place?
It's a hard pill to swallow, but we've got to start thinking differently about goals. Instead of tying our happiness to hitting a specific result, we need to focus on the actions that will bring us joy in the moment. The things that actually make us feel good while we're working towards something, rather than waiting for that big payoff.
Oh, I love that shift. It's like instead of saying, I'll be happy when I get the promotion, you're saying, I'm going to enjoy the process of working hard, of learning, of improving. And guess what? When you focus on those small victories, the big wins come naturally and they're more fulfilling because you actually enjoyed the work leading up to them.
Now, this next point is one that might be hard for some people to accept, but it's super important. Achieving success doesn't always bring happiness. We've been talking about how chasing results can leave us feeling empty, but there's a deeper layer to this. Even when we hit those big milestones, sometimes we still end up feeling meh.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's like when you work so hard for something and you finally get it, like a promotion or a new car or that big social media milestone, and you think, this is it, I've made it. But then after a few days, you're just sitting there thinking, wait, is this really what I wanted? Is this enough?
Exactly. It's such a weird feeling. I've been there. I've worked for years to hit a big YouTube milestone, getting 1 million subscribers, and when I finally did it, I thought I'd be on top of the world. But honestly, after the excitement wore off, I was left with this emptiness. The thing I'd worked so hard for didn't feel as fulfilling as I thought it would.
That's such a great example, James. And it's not just you. I've had friends who hit huge goals too, like launching their own business or buying their dream house, and they've told me the same thing. They thought it would bring this huge sense of joy, but when they actually got there, they were left wondering, now what? It's almost like we've been taught that success equals happiness, but in reality, it's a little more complicated.
Yeah, that's the kicker, right? We're all chasing these goals thinking that once we hit them, we'll feel complete, but it's really about what happens next. That feeling of emptiness doesn't just come from not achieving, but from the fact that we're always chasing something outside of ourselves for happiness. But real happiness, the kind that lasts, isn't in things or achievements. It's in how we experience the process of working toward them.
Right. So, what can we do about this? I think it's all about shifting our mindset. Instead of looking at success as the key to happiness, we need to start seeing it as a stepping stone to something deeper, personal fulfillment. When we stop waiting for success to give us joy, we realize that the joy is already in the work we're doing.
100%. It's about finding joy in the everyday moments, the small wins, the progress, and the growth. Once we do that, hitting the big milestones won't seem so empty, and we won't feel like we're constantly chasing the next big thing.
Correctly. Success is nice, but it doesn't define who we are. It's the journey, the lessons, and the experiences along the way that really shape us. So let's stop putting all our eggs in the success equals happiness basket and start creating happiness from the inside out.
Now that we've touched on the emptiness that can follow success, let's talk about how we can shift our focus to find lasting fulfillment. It all comes down to purpose. Not the results or the accolades, but the why behind what we do. When we find purpose in our actions, that's when we really start to experience true joy.
Ooh, I love that idea. It's like when you're doing something because you truly care about it, not because you're chasing a reward. I mean, think about all the people who do work just for the paycheck. They're not really invested in what they do. They're just waiting for the next pay cycle. But imagine if people found meaning in their daily tasks, regardless of the paycheck. Wouldn't that change everything?
Absolutely, that's the shift we're talking about. It's not about what you're doing, but why you're doing it. When you focus on the purpose behind your work, whether it's helping people, making a difference, or simply enjoying the process, suddenly the outcome doesn't matter as much. You start to see joy in the act itself and not just in what you get at the end.
Yep, and it's funny how that works. When you focus on purpose over results, the results often come naturally anyway. It's like when you stop obsessing over that promotion or that next milestone and you just focus on doing your best work every day, that's when you start seeing the real change. It's like the universe is just rewarding you for the energy you're putting out.
Totally. I mean, when I shifted my focus from subscriber counts and views to simply creating content I'm proud of, it felt like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I stopped stressing about the numbers and just started enjoying the process. And guess what? The views and the growth came anyway. But this time, I was genuinely happy, not because of the success, but because I was doing something that felt purposeful.
Oh, I love that. It's so freeing, right? When you're not just chasing a destination, but you're fully present in the journey. I've started applying that same mindset to other areas of my life, whether it's working out or learning something new. Instead of focusing on the end result, I focus on how I'm feeling while I'm doing it. It's been a game changer.
That's a powerful shift, Sophia, and it's something we can all do. We can start by finding the purpose in what we do every day. When we stop defining our happiness by external results, we can find joy in the work itself. And trust me, when you get to that point, everything else just falls into place.
Yeah, it's all about finding meaning in the little things, the everyday actions, because once we do that, the rest of it won't feel like a chore anymore. It will feel like a choice, and that's a huge difference, isn't it?
It really is. And that's the key to long term happiness, living with purpose. When we focus on that, we can find fulfillment in everything we do, not just in the outcomes we're striving for. Now, let's get into something that can really make a difference when it comes to creating lasting fulfillment, shifting our goals from result based to action based. You see, when we set goals that focus on the actions we want to take rather than the outcomes, it changes everything. Suddenly, the journey feels a lot more rewarding.
I'm all in on this. It's like when you set a goal to work out and you focus on actually completing the exercises, not just on the number on the scale. Instead of being disappointed if the number doesn't go down, you can celebrate each workout as a success in itself. That's where the real win is.
Exactly. When we make the action the goal, the pressure to get the perfect result starts to disappear. For instance, let's say you're learning a new skill, whether it's playing an instrument, learning a language, or even working on a project at work. If your only focus is on achieving fluency or finishing the project, you'll likely get frustrated when it doesn't happen fast enough. But if you make the goal about practicing every day or making progress in small steps, you're more likely to stay motivated and enjoy the journey.
Yes, I totally get that. And think about this. When you focus on the action, like just showing up every day and doing the work, you're more likely to keep going. That consistency builds momentum, and over time, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. It's all about small wins. I think we often underestimate the power of tiny, consistent actions.
Right. It's about getting comfortable with the process. I know I've fallen into the trap of obsessing over big results, like hitting a huge milestone, but now I really focus on the daily steps I can take to move toward my goal. Whether it's writing one page of my book every day or simply taking the time to plan my day, these small actions are what make the bigger goal feel less daunting and more achievable.
That's such a great point, James. I've noticed the same thing in my own life. Instead of trying to lose 20 pounds all at once, I set a goal to eat healthier meals and work out 3 times a week. It's way less stressful, and I feel proud every time I complete a workout. No pressure, just progress. And that's where the motivation comes from, seeing the small steps pay off.
Exactly. It's so much more sustainable. And when we focus on action, we learn to appreciate the effort, not just the outcome. We start to realize that success is built on these everyday actions, It's like a snowball effect. The more you focus on the process, the bigger the results will become, almost without you even noticing.
And I love how that makes the whole process more enjoyable, don't you? Because it's not just about reaching the finish line, it's about making each day feel like a victory. And when you get used to celebrating those little wins, the whole journey becomes way more rewarding.
Absolutely. And that's why action based goals are so powerful. They shift our mindset from waiting for a specific outcome to focusing on the present moment. And that makes the work itself feel fulfilling. So let's all try to embrace this. Focus on what we can do today rather than worrying about what we'll achieve tomorrow. Because in the end, the journey is where the magic happens. So let's wrap up today's discussion with a key takeaway. Find joy in the process, not just the result. We've covered a lot about how focusing on results can lead to emptiness and frustration, but now let's really dive into how shifting our focus to the journey, the small actions we take every day, can actually transform the way we experience work, life, and even our personal goals.
Oh, I love this part. It's like once we stop obsessing over the end goal, everything starts to feel lighter. When you make peace with the idea that you're not just doing things for a paycheck or for a specific milestone, but because the process itself is meaningful, things start to change. You start finding joy in even the most mundane tasks.
Thanks so much for joining us today. And remember, it's not about where you end up, it's about how you get there. We'll see you next time. That's so true, Sophia. It's like when you go into work and instead of thinking, I have to finish this project to get promoted, and you think, I'm going to give this my best shot because I care about the quality of the work I do. You take pride in the effort, and the result doesn't define your happiness. The happiness comes from knowing you did something well, regardless of the outcome.
Exactly. It's about detaching from that need for external validation. So if the promotion doesn't happen or you don't hit that milestone, you're still proud of what you've done. You're still satisfied with the effort, and that's where the real fulfillment is. We can't base our entire sense of worth on a single outcome. It's the daily choices and the commitment to progress that define who we are.
I think that's the biggest shift we need to make. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, that house, that number of subscribers, we start saying, I'll be happy when I've done my best today, when I've put in the effort and learned something new. We take pride in the process, and that makes everything feel more rewarding.
And the best part is that when we focus on the process, we stop burning out. Think about it. When we're constantly chasing the next result, it's like running a race with no finish line. But when we're focused on the journey, we get little bursts of satisfaction along the way, which makes it all feel worth it. No more waiting for a distant goal to feel complete. Instead, we can feel fulfilled every single day.
That's the beauty of it. When we let go of the need for a specific outcome, we start to live more freely. It's not about the destination, it's about the experience along the way. So, whether it's your work, your hobbies, or even your personal growth, let's shift the focus from results to enjoying the process. Let's make every day a victory.
Yes. And in the end, we'll find that when we embrace the journey, we not only achieve more, but also feel happier and more fulfilled doing it. It's about enjoying every step, no matter how big or small. Because when you love the process, the results don't feel like a burden. They feel like a natural outcome of your efforts.
You're right. So, the lesson here is simple. Don't wait for happiness to come when you reach the finish line. Find joy in the process and the results will come naturally. Live for today, for the actions you're taking now. And trust me, you'll be amazed at how much more rewarding your journey becomes.
Couldn't have said it better myself, James. So, everyone listening, take that first step today. Shift your focus, find joy in the work, and start enjoying the process. We hope this episode helps you find more meaning and fulfillment in everything you do.